absence of those butterflies doesn't mean absence of love as well.
The intention of physical affection in marriage must be to arouse feelings of love in the giver and the receiver.
You can make your marriage the most beautiful marriage, the most fulfilling marriage, if you just choose to be intentional.
If you are going to have quality time with your spouse, it must be something that you are intentional about.
Hello, family. Welcome to Finding Beauty in Marriage, your podcast for all things marriage, and the place where we build beautiful, meaningful, and fulfilling relationships. As always, I'm not alone. I'm with my queen, my best friend, my co-host, and my wife. And by the way, this is all the same person. Talk about a power woman. Say hi, Sugar.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope we have a great time together.
Yeah, definitely. So we're finally back here together. And yeah, it's been a tough 3 weeks for us.
Yeah.
First, our son got sick. And the second week, I literally thought we were pregnant because you couldn't keep anything. You were just throwing up left, right, and center. And the third week, I was the one who was sick, and it's just been tough. So we haven't been able to record for the past 3 weeks, and we just really wanted to take this moment to say sorry for that. We do apologize. It is not intentional. And whenever we do get the time to record, we do record. But the past 3 weeks have been really tough, and we couldn't even get ourselves to do the recording. But yeah, we hope this time of our absence has given you a bit of time to go through our previous episodes and look into the things that you can still improve on in your marriage. And we hope, truly hope, that your marriage is in a better state at this moment.
Yeah, we are truly apologizing because we received some tongue lashes from you guys asking us why haven't we been recording. So this is just a time and opportunity for us to say sorry, and we'll do better next time.
We ask for your prayers, above everything. We truly just ask for your prayers. Keep us in prayer so that we are able to do the work that we need to be doing.
Yeah, we are commissioned to do. So let's begin. What are we talking about today?
So today we are basically taking it light. I hope this is light because I'm really not about to go deep. My mind can't really take it. So we would know that when you are married, especially when you are married for a long time, maintaining love and passion over that extended time requires kind of a conscious effort. It doesn't just happen. Because as you would always say, babe, the butterflies fly away.
Don't stay.
They don't stay forever. So when that happens, it really takes that intentional effort from the couple to actually make it work. Because those butterflies, now that they're gone, they should not say to you that you do not have love anymore in your marriage.
The love is not gone.
The love is still there, and we just need to find a way to cultivate our marriage and make sure that we find ourselves in a better, in a more loving space. Even though we don't feel the butterflies, and as we are going through this session, I don't want to say you will feel the butterflies when you do all these things. But it's for you as a couple to understand that the absence of those butterflies doesn't mean absence of love as well. It just means the butterflies are gone, and you just need to find other ways. We'll talk about adapting, it's about adapting and still realizing that you guys are still in love.
Very much in love.
You guys still love one another big time, and make it work that way, right? Familiarity breeds contempt. When you're married for a long time, many couples tend to be complacent because now they are used to this person. You just wake up around them, you sleep around them. It's just a monotonous kind of a thing, and they fall into complacency. But that shouldn't be your marriage's narrative. It shouldn't be that way. You should not be too familiar that there's even contempt in your marriage, right? We believe that you can reignite and sustain that flame in your marriage if you only choose to be intentional about it. And that's why today we are going to be looking at 8 ways to help you stay deeply in love with your partner, and make sure that you remain in love, butterflies or not, that you are in love because you've been working on it. There are no doubts, second thoughts about it. You know that you are in love with your partner. You know they're in love with you because you both have been working on it. So without further ado, what's number 1, Shugu?
Okay, number 1, I will start with quality time. It is in its name, right? I can best describe it as a time spent with your spouse creating memories. It is any time that you can look back to in the future, and it still holds a special place in your heart because it was meaningful. Now, look at this. Living together with your spouse is automatic. It comes with being married to them. So it cannot equate to quality time. Being together in the same place and time is passing by is not intentional. It comes with staying with somebody. But if you are going to have quality time with your spouse, it must be something that you are intentional about. You make it intentional by planning for it. It won't just happen. Creating memories does not have to cost you money, right? Putting aside a Friday and putting the kids early to bed and spending a night with your spouse, playing a board game, watching a movie, in the comfort of your living room. You don't have to go to the cinema or anything like that. Listening to this podcast, that can be creating memories. And what this does for your relationship is that quality time creates intimacy and it strengthens the bond between the couple. Number 2, you get to learn and you know your spouse better as you spend time together. There are people that really don't know their spouses because they don't spend time together, quality time at that. Number 3, you fall more in love with your spouse when you spend time together because love is cultivated by time. Number 4, you become more attracted to them when you spend time together because you get to be exposed to other parts of them depending on what kind of activity that you will be doing as you spend time together.
And the Bible says the man shall, and I'm laughing now because we've been speaking about this in the group, in one of the groups, in one of the WhatsApp groups, that men should leave and then cleave. That cleaving part has a huge component of time, has a huge component of presence. Quality time, it speaks of time and presence. You can be there but still absent.
Be absent,
which means that's not quality time anymore. It's just you
being
just
around
loitering
each
around, just being around each other, which doesn't equate to quality time. So it really is about being intentional about creating that quality time. Have nights where you mentioned a lot of examples. Make a night where you dedicate it to no laptop, no phone, no TV, no kids, just you and your spouse just sit. And sometimes you don't even need to talk.
Yeah.
You just need to be in that silent presence.
That speaks volumes.
Yeah, that speaks volumes. Maybe you're cuddling and just quiet.
I can already imagine men so stressed in my mind.
In like quality time, men get
I
they
don't
get
want to do
stressed.
this.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to talk.
But there are so many things that can be quality time that don't involve talking, that don't involve stressful things. You create time just to be there, present, and
connect,
enjoying each other's presence. Number two, we are talking respect differences. Respect differences. I think if we are going to spend quality time together, what would happen is we will begin noticing a lot of differences that we have, and what happens is many couples, upon seeing these differences, they start fighting about them and start making a fuss about it. But those are the things that actually need to be celebrated. I would be so bored if I was married to
yourself,
because there's nothing that's different. There's nothing that I don't know that you
can teach yourself.
Can teach myself, But when you come as a different person, it makes it worthwhile. I can sit here and just listen to you going on and on about something that you are passionate about, and I need to celebrate you for that. When I see how you do some things in the house that I was used to doing, I was used to doing them in a certain way. I need to celebrate that there's a different mindset around the house, So respecting each other's individuality really helps with mutual respect, but also helps if I respect your the way you are different from me. It helps me avoid, or it helps us avoid conflict with each other. It also ensures that we both feel valued and understood. We continually strengthen that foundation in our relationship of understanding, because you don't have to hide who you are when you are around me, because you know that I respect you with the differences that you bring in the relationship. So how do you basically go around respecting the differences? First of all, we spoke about this active listening. If you listen actively, you will develop that respect for your partner, because you'll understand where they come from when they do certain things. You'll understand why they do certain things, why they behave a certain way, simply because you are listening.
Can I just add something to that? It is also important to ask so that you understand why your partner is different in certain areas.
Definitely.
Don't just come and say, but when I wash the dishes, I do this, you don't do this. Ask them, why is it that when you wash dishes, you don't do this, and you'll realize that they don't think about what you do. They just think about how they do things. So ask to understand.
Definitely. Number 2, personal space and time. This also speaks to how different we are. Yes, we are a couple, we are one, but there is that element of individuality, and that needs to be embraced as well. It shouldn't be shunned. We need to encourage and respect each other's need for personal time. When you need your personal time of prayer, I should allow you to do so. Not me every time when I want to go and speak about me to the Lord, I'm there. Now you can't say what you wanted to say. So whether it's pursuing a hobby, whether it's spending time with friends, whether it's simply having time alone, I need to be able to respect that and give that to you. And those moments of loneliness should, however, not be too much. That you learn to be alone.
Yes.
You know,
they should be without me.
Yeah, there should just be enough balance where there's time for us, there's time for you alone, there is time for your prayer time, there is time for our prayer time.
Yeah.
You know, all these things need to be balanced very well for us to have a harmonious relationship. And the last one, we need to actually celebrate these differences.
Yeah.
Make sure that you celebrate your partner's differences, or the things that make them different from you, because those different things are what actually complement you as a person. You know, if you are, I'm the IT guy at work.
Yeah.
I'm the IT guy here at home. You know, if your laptop breaks, I know how to fix it.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that. You know. That's my strength. I and you can then celebrate that from me, you know, to say, okay, this is where I bring my compliment to you. You know, you don't have to go out there to pay for this thing to be fixed, because I'm here. I can fix it for you, you know, and many other things that you do that I can't do. And because you can do them, I am satisfied, you know, and I'm happy. And I'm enjoying the fact that you can
someone
do
else
them.
is doing them. Yeah. Awesome. Number three.
Yeah.
Shared goals. Right? Set and work towards common goals.
Yeah.
Like you just said, individualism is important.
Yeah.
Even individual goals are still important in marriage. There is space for personal growth and achievement in marriage. But I just want to talk about or highlight shared goals in marriage.
Yeah.
Shared goals in marriage are basically aspirations, objectives, or ambitions that both partners in marriage mutually agree upon and work towards achieving them together. Yeah. These goals are important for building a strong foundation for the relationship and fostering a sense of unity and partnership in the marriage. So shared goals, like any other goals in life, need to be worked on in order for them to be achieved. Shared goals are exciting because of the concept 2 is better than 1. Yeah. You are more likely to achieve better and greater things because you work together as a team in marriage. Yeah. I would just like to share a few examples of shared goals that a couple can have in marriage. Financial stability. This is a major one. Working together to achieve financial stability and security is a common shared goal in marriage. This may include saving up for a house together, planning for retirement, or paying off debts. Number 2, family planning. Shared goals related to family planning might include deciding when to start a family. Right?
It's a big one.
I want to start a family now. You want to start it later. You know, how many children do you want? Yeah. Right? Some want 5. Yeah. The women want 2. The husband want 5, and all of that.
I want to buy a 7-seater.
Right? I want to buy a 2-door, sports car and all that. Plan around that, and how to raise them also is very, very much important. Right? Those are the things as shared goals that a couple can have. The other one, number 3, I guess, it's health and wellness.
Yeah.
Especially as you get older, man, these things need to be prioritized. Prioritize health and wellness as a couple can be a shared goal. This might involve exercising together, adopting a healthy diet, or supporting each other in achieving personal health goals.
Yeah.
Number 4, relationship enrichment. I love this one.
Yeah.
This is where my heart is. Investing in health and happiness of the relationship can itself be a shared goal. This might involve prioritizing quality time together, attending couple counseling or workshop, seminars, reading a book together on relationships and marriage, listening to our podcast.
This
and
is
discussing.
The easiest one.
This is it should be number 1 actually. And discussing, because it will not enrich your marriage if you're just going to listen. Even with that book that you read, discuss it afterwards. That movie on marriage content, discuss it. The seminar that you are going to, the workshop that you are going to, when you get home, discuss these things in light of your marriage. relationship and religious growth. Goals related to spiritual goals and connections are important. This might involve attending church together, serving in the same department or ministry at church, if possible, or engaging in meaningful discussions about your faith, right? Or having a Bible study together at home. So these are just a few examples of shared goals in marriage, but the specific goals that a couple choose to pursue will vary based on the kind of individuals and the couple that they are, their interests and obviously priorities. But overall, the key here is that both partners have to actively participate in setting and working towards these goals together and supporting each other every step of the way.
And I think one of the important things regarding shared goals is that the couple needs to understand that setting and working towards a shared goal helps create that sense of partnership that marriage thrives on. I love being married because I have a partner who can help me do anything that I want to do. If I were to rob a bank, the first person I would speak to is you, you know, because you are just that partner, you know. And if I'm fumbling, like robbing a bank, you'd be the first one to say, my guy, this is not it, you know. And that's the value that comes in having shared goals, is because you have a set of eyes that you would otherwise not have if you were alone. You know, when we were single, we made a lot of mistakes financially, relationship wise, and all of that, because we were thinking from a singles mindset. But once you get married, you have the two heads now. You have another set of eyes, you know, that can make it much more easy for you to navigate life. So that sense of partnership and unity really
is important.
Is important. Okay.
Number 4, I think.
Number 4. If you're still with us, please like, please share, please comment, and let us know we are doing good. Number 4, adapting and growing together. This one is really an important thing, and I've seen this in so many marriages, you know, and that's why for me, you probably would have noticed in our marriage, you know, it's a big thing that when I improve in certain areas of my life, I can't help but want you to tag along, you know, because one thing I understand, especially about women, is that you were created to be our helpers, you know, and if we continue our lives and actually grow in certain areas of our lives without including you, that's where the frustration sets in, you know. So I don't want to, and that's why I always say to you, babe, whenever I achieve something, that I'll always come to you and thank you for first making sure that I'm able to make the time to maybe study, for instance, you know, or set up a business, whatever it is, you know, to be able to do that, so that you understand that you were an integral part of me building what I was building. I don't want to get to a point where the business is set up, or I've gotten that qualification, or whatever it is, and you feel like, okay, so how do I fit in all of this? You know, and that's why I always come back to you and say, hey, you are doing good for giving me that 2 hours, that 3 hours of time to study and all that. So the adapt and grow together, this is where it comes into play. If you really want to stay in love with your partner, make sure that you grow together. You know, don't allow a place of growth from one person alone. You know, if one of you needs to get a PhD, for instance, you need to find a way to make the other one involved. You know, obviously they won't get the PhD with you.
Community of property.
But your PhD is my PhD.
Yeah.
You know,
because I'm involved. I'm growing
I'm
with
involved.
you.
I'm involved. What's important is making sure that your partner is involved in everything that you do, especially in areas of growth, so that they feel part of that growth.
Yeah.
They don't feel like you are just going and succeeding alone. They know that your success is their success as well.
Yeah, and I think it is important. I like that you mentioned women to be helpers, because it often happens that women, when we get married, the focus becomes the family and we forget about ourselves. You know, we forget about growing personally, individual growth, and growing with you. You know, we are stuck at taking care of you. We are stuck at taking care of the family. So it is important that women grow individually and they grow with the husband. And how can you be a helper when somebody's 10 steps ahead of you? So when I am involved and growing with you, I'm able to help because I know where you are. You know, so it is very important.
It is. It's so important. I mean, let's say we are high school lovers, you know, and we decide we are just going to get married at whatever, like 19 years old after matric or whatever, you know, and immediately, because we are married, you switch on your nurturing component. You know, you start taking care of us. You know, we have a baby, you start taking care of me, the baby, while on the other side I am
going to school, you are working, you are getting promotions at work.
You know, before you know it, if we are not really attentive to what's happening, before you know it, I'm the vice president of some company. I now have a master's in what, you know, and I feel like you are not
part.
You know, I feel like you are not at the level where I am, and therefore we can't even converse anymore. We can't even connect anymore at that level, because we've let it go for so long. You know, without involving you. You can't involve your partner at master's level. You know,
already,
they need to
have started
they
with
need
you.
to have started with you, and you need to involve them every step of the way. Quickly, practical ways to implement this. First of all, do continuous learning together. You know, take classes, learn a new skill together. You know, whatever
even
it
if
is.
It doesn't have to be the same, right?
It doesn't have to be
the same thing, but
the same
together.
is better.
It's better.
The same is better.
But people have different interests, you know. I can't do an IT degree, I mean.
I
right?
mean, with us, you have your degree in marketing. You know, I have my diploma in IT. And we did counseling together, 2 years together, studying, graduated on the same day, you know, and that's just an example of what people can do. You know, learn a language, learn a skill, learn something together, as long as you are together in that learning process and growing together, you know. Secondly, do regular check-ins with each other. You know, check in about, and this adapting and growing together is not about just academics. You know, it's about everything. So do regular check-ins with each other. Find out, are you still fine? Are there things that we need to be improving? You know, are there things that we need to be stopping? All those things. Are you still happy? You know, it's a simple question, but such a powerful question. You know, are you still happy? Am I making you happy? You know, because it's not about it's really about finding out whether your partner sees your effort. You know, So am I still making you happy? What can I improve? So do those regular check-ins so that your relationship grows. Now, the last one, support each other's growth all the time. Whenever your partner shows interest in doing something, be the first one to cheer them on, be the greatest cheerleader, because their success, as we mentioned, is your success as well. By doing these simple things, you'll realize that you will avoid complacency, and your relationship will continue to grow. Adapting means realizing that Matapelo is growing.
Yeah.
Matapelo's needs have changed, and I need to adapt to those.
Yeah.
And we need to continually do that for us in order for us to remain in love with each other. Without doing that, you will grow, and I'll continue feeding you the same things that I think you still love. And you've grown. You've grown past those things. That's why the regular check-ins, that's why the adapting. So once I found that you have grown from one thing to another, I need to be able to say, okay, no more flowers. It's spinach all the way from now on.
Pot plant, please.
Pot plant.
Yes. No flowers, pot plant.
All right. Number 5, babe.
Number 5, surprise gestures.
Yeah.
Right? Surprising your spouse basically with thoughtful gestures, right? Like we've been talking, in the business of growing together while pursuing shared goals and growing together, find time to be romantic. And this can be done through surprise gestures. A thoughtful gesture says to your spouse that you think about them, you consider them, you are mindful of them, and that they are important to you. I love this act so much because no matter your love language, it caters to you. A thoughtful gesture is not only buying them a gift and getting them something tangible, but number 1, to a physical touch person, a thoughtful gesture could be you massaging their feet, their head, their beard, their shoulders after a long day. To an act of service person, you can offer to cook, offer to wash dishes, to bathe the kids, to help them out. It's a thoughtful gesture. To a words of affirmation person, writing them a meaningful note, right? Sending them a voice note while you're at work, a romantic voice note. You don't have to be a poet. Just tell them how much you love them, how much you appreciate them, The list goes on.
I mean, what you're saying, babe. I love how you put it, that it just applies across the board. Because I know I'm not a words of affirmation person, but if you write a note, you used to write a note and put a little chocolate on the side. That's like, wow, okay, and I'm not even a words of affirmation person, but that note means
it's a thoughtful
so
gesture.
Much, it means so much more. I love touchy stuff, but even that appeals to me. So that really is a powerful one.
And to a gift person, getting them a thoughtful gift, right? Not just a gift, but it has to say that you have been thinking of them. To a quality time person, preparing a memorable time for them to remember for time to come. So because you will be targeting their love language through the gesture, this will put more love into their hearts, and this will in turn put love into the relationship or the marriage. Surprise gestures can bring excitement and joy into the marriage. They break monotony of daily routines, and they add an element of spontaneity and fun, which can reignite passion and strengthen the emotional connection between the partners. These gestures, what they do is that they demonstrate that you are attentive to your spouse's needs, their desires and their preferences. By going all out of your way to surprise them with something special, you communicate that you appreciate them and that you are invested in making them feel valued and considered. Number 6, just to sneak this one in, right? Expressed appreciation. Appreciating your spouse basically is you recognizing them, acknowledging, respecting, and valuing them.
Yeah.
You don't make, or rather don't take for granted the things that your spouse does for you. And in the marriage, saying or thinking that it is their role and their duty. Learn to recognize what they do. Acknowledge your wife for cooking for you. Babe, thank you for the meal today. It tastes good, right? Appreciate your husband for being a provider, maybe for being a present father, for being an attentive husband, for communicating. Thank you, babe, for opening your heart to me, right? Which is something that men find it hard to do, but when you have a husband like that, appreciate that. Recognize that. So expressing appreciation for the for thoughtful gesture that we just spoke about, right? Don't just take it all in and forget to appreciate them, because they went out of their way to do that for you. So learn to appreciate them. The other thing to consider is that you can express gratitude in so many ways. It does not only have to end with saying thank you, which is the most important one and the first one that you should be doing, but it is just one way of appreciation. The other way of appreciating your spouse, which are many, right? You can show appreciation in so many ways. So I will leave that to the imagination. I cannot. I will leave that to the imagination. Be creative, and express your appreciation to your spouse. I just want to highlight the importance of expressed appreciation in a relationship. Number one, expressed appreciation strengthens emotional connection between the spouse. When partners express appreciation for each other, it reinforces emotional bonds. Feelings of being valued and appreciated can create a sense of closeness and intimacy in the marriage. Number two, increased satisfaction. Regularly acknowledging and thanking your partner for their contributions, it fosters a sense of satisfaction within the marriage. It shows that their efforts are noticed and valued, which can lead to greater overall happiness of the relationship. Number three, it boosts self-esteem. Being appreciated by your spouse boosts self-esteem and confidence. It affirms your worth and encourages you to continue investing in the relationship, knowing that your efforts are recognized and they are valued. Number four, it encourages reciprocity. When one partner expresses appreciation, it often encourages the other one to do the same. It creates a cycle of positive reinforcement where both partners feel motivated and continue to show gratitude and kindness towards each other. The last one, it promotes communication. The most important thing in a relationship, right? Appreciation opens up lines of communication within the marriage. It creates opportunities for couple to express their needs, their desires and feelings in a supportive and respectful manner.
Yeah. Wow. I like what you mentioned about how it creates reciprocity. I will speak for the guys here, for the gents, right?
You got them.
Because I know a few guys who have mentioned in one of the groups that I'm part of.
Part of a
with
lot
the
of
gents.
groups.
With only the gents. That ladies have a tendency of, maybe let me start here. Verbal appreciation makes up your partner.
Okay.
And with the gents, what I've noticed is they would say something like, for instance, many ladies have a way they want things to be done. Let's say it's the dishes. You ask the guy, okay, please wash the dishes, help me with the dishes. And then I wash the dishes. But then after washing the dishes, I just leave the cloth anyhow. Not the way you would hang it or
fold it
and all that stuff. And when the lady comes, the dishes are clean, everything is clean. She'll complain about
that cloth.
Yeah. And that just takes away, that whole
the joy of having
done
something for
your wife.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is, ladies, be gracious with us. washing the dishes and leaving the cloth there, those are two different things. Appreciate me for the big work that I've done.
It is the big work.
The big work that I've done of washing the dishes.
Yeah.
We will get to the details later. You know, maybe after 2 hours, you know, when we've come and I've digested the fact that you've appreciated me for washing the dishes. Just mention it nicely, you know, covertly. You know, a wise woman in the Bible knows how to say these things, man.
Yeah.
You know, tell me about the cloth that was not folded, but in a way that's gonna make me want to wash the dishes tomorrow, but also remember to fold the cloth. You know, you cannot speak death and expect life to emerge. You know, vice versa, you cannot continually speak life and you experience death. So that moment of me being in a bubble, that I've just done something for my wife. You know, I know a lot of men would appreciate if our women would just come and say, wow, you did good, you know, and that's the end of it. We'll talk about the cloth later on.
You
know,
okay,
but appreciation is a big thing in marriage. Both men and women need to be doing it.
I mean, people crave for it at work, you know, but then they are the very same people that when they are home, they don't appreciate their spouses. As much as you crave it from work, your spouse craves it at home.
Yeah. Awesome. Number 7. Laugh together. Laughing together. I mean, this is so simple, but it's so difficult. You know, couples need to learn how to create a laughing environment, right, in their marriages. If you can't laugh together, you will always feel like you are crying together all the time, and that makes your marriage not be a joyful experience, you know, because there's no time for laughter in your marriage. There are marriages like that, you know, where it's like a business meeting all the time, you know. And like you said, I think we spoke about this in one of our episodes where you find that the guy is so happy when he's outside, you know, with the friends.
He's the one who talks a lot.
He talks a lot.
He's the loudest.
Laughs a lot. He's the loudest.
Dances.
You know.
He's a dancer.
He's the one who says,
who cracks jokes.
Let's not go, guys. 2 more hours.
Yeah. And he's the married one.
You know, and he's the married one.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to go home because he knows that home, and we shouldn't say he as though
as if
women don't do it. Women do that too. You know, they want to stay out with their friends and all that because they know that once I get home, it's a court of law. You know, I need to be. It's a serious place all the time. So make time for laughter. You know. These things, the more, if you are not going to be intentional about them, they won't happen. If you are not going to be intentional about being creating a fun environment in your marriage, it won't just come from anywhere. You know, it has to be built in. At some point it gets, you know, to a point where you've done it so much that it's just like your second nature. But if it's not the case at this moment, then do a few things to learn, do a few things to kind of get into that rapport of having a laughing moment in your marriage. How do you do that? I mean, simple. Watch comedies together. You know, or watch comedies and just tell yourself we are going to laugh. You know, put some Trevor Noah there and intentionally laugh. Let your wife, let your husband know what your laughter sounds like. You know, because when you go to a comedy show,
You go prepared.
Today I'm going to laugh. So do the same, attend that comedy show with your wife, or get some comedy DVD, play it.
DVD, honestly.
Yeah, no, sorry guys, sorry. Yeah, no. I'll be young in our next episode. Yeah, but get some, movies, watch Netflix. There's YouTube. Just get in that habit of making that time to say, okay, this is our laughter time. The more you do that, the more it comes naturally, because you are learning to become laughing partners, basically.
Nothing happens by chance. You need to be intentional.
You need to be intentional about it. The more you become intentional about it,
the more it
becomes natural.
Yeah.
It becomes your second nature. Playful activities.
Yeah.
Don't be
Mama Sekaya, no
Mama Sekaya, no Baba Sekaya. For our people who don't hear this language, because we have a global audience, what we just said is, don't be his mom and
oh my goodness,
and his
don't be parents.
Don't be parents. Yeah, let's just keep it at that. Don't be that kind. Engage in playful activities.
Yeah.
You guys are lifetime friends. So engage in playful activities. If I can't play with my wife, who am I supposed to play with? If I can't tickle my wife, which she hates, who am I going to be tickling?
Our son.
Yeah, well, I want to tickle my wife because our son is asleep. Okay. Play video games, even if you don't understand. I know some guys will love this one, but hop on that TikTok challenge. Do something that's fun together. That's just playful. That doesn't require you to pull out your third level brain to think. Once you have that playful time, once you have that laughing moment together, what you will start to develop is some inside jokes, because it becomes second nature. Now there's just one word that when it's mentioned, it just triggers both of you, and everyone around you is shocked at why are you laughing.
I'm even reminded of a marriage boot camp we once went to, and the facilitator was checking how well couples know each other. And he said, I remember the challenge that we got was for you to whisper something funny in my head, in my ear, like one word, or an inside joke, as you just put it, And he said it doesn't have to be long, just something very simple and quick, and you did that, and I laughed, That is what you are talking about, because people don't have inside jokes. And that is tragic.
It's really tragic if you are not going to spend time together, quality time together. If you are not going to grow together, all these things are joined together. All these things work together to give you a better and a beautiful marriage, which is what we are all about in this podcast. To make sure that you have a wonderful, a more fulfilling marriage. So have a time to laugh together. Make time for laughter.
Yep.
Number 8.
The last one, physical affection.
Yes. I didn't want to talk on this one because I'm going to be biased. I'm a physical person, so I'll let you go do the honors.
All right. Physical affection in marriage should not just be a mere touch. Massage or whatever form of touch there is, but the intention of physical affection in marriage must be to arouse feelings of love in the giver and the receiver. You hold hands at the mall or whenever you are working together because you intend to arouse feelings of love and intimacy in each other. Affection in marriage is a time of intimacy between the couple. You are hugging because you intend to feel the love that you have for your spouse and the love they have for you. And they in turn must also feel the love that they have for you and the love that you have for them.
Yeah.
That's why how you hug your spouse must be different and should be different from how you hug everybody else, or how you touch them should be different from how you hug everybody. Give them a Christian hug, right? Leave space for the Holy Spirit in between you guys, you know. Because do not go around with the intention of arousing feelings in people that you are not in love with or you are not married to.
Lest you get what you are asking for.
Lest you get what you are asking for from the wrong person.
Yeah.
So just be mindful of that. Okay. So if you haven't been doing this, start today and be intentional about sending out and receiving feelings of love whenever you are physical with your spouse. Feel and leave them with butterflies, like he said. Feel and be intentional about putting in butterflies in their tummy. And with every touch that you receive and give your partner. Let me just highlight the importance of physical touch in a marriage. Number one, they enhance intimacy. Physical touch fosters intimacy between the partners. The holding of hands, kissing, cuddling, and hugging, and other forms of physical affection, they create a sense of closeness and connection, and it strengthens the emotional bond in the marriage. Number two, improved communication. Physical touch can communicate love, reassurance, and support in ways that words cannot.
Yep.
A gentle touch on the shoulder or a warm embrace can convey empathy, understanding, and solidarity. That in turn will facilitate open and honest communication between the partners. Number three, increased satisfaction. Regular affectionate touch fosters feelings of satisfaction and fulfillment within the relationship. It strengthens the emotional connection between the partners, and it promotes overall happiness of the couple and the relationship. Lastly, rekindling romance. Physical touch plays a crucial role in keeping romance alive in the marriage. Engaging in affectionate touches on a regular basis helps the couple maintain the spark and excitement in the marriage. This will in turn keep the romance alive even as years go by.
It reminds me of one of the seminars we facilitated, and we asked the couples to where they were blindfolded, and we asked them to find their partner by touching. I think it was touching their hands. And
no one got it right. No one got it right.
And this is the hands should be the most obvious part. So it's really about creating that oneness. I need to know what my other hands feel like. It's about me understanding, not just touching you, but understanding what kind of touch makes you feel love.
And just to add on that, if people touch enough, like I've been saying here, that the intention of touching, physical touch in marriage should be to arouse feelings. With the example that you just made of the game that we facilitated, I mean, if you touched your partner, you would have felt it. It's not so much only about knowing what your partner has on their hand, but you will feel that warm embrace. You will know. Like with me, I will know your hands are hot all the time, and obviously every time you hold me, there's a certain kind of warmth that I feel. So I would pick that up from your hands, that this is the hand that I know.
I mean, it's possibly the only hands you've ever touched. In the last 13 years,
many years,
so,
in that way.
In that way. But the point being, if there are hands that you should know, it's these hands. And in 13 years, if you if you don't know my hands, then you don't want to know them.
Yeah.
You know, so
then it means then it would mean we haven't been touching enough.
Yeah, we haven't been intentional about touching. So that's really what
physical affection is about.
And really I wanted to say regarding physical affection, it's said that touching brings about or releases about oxytocin, you know, which is that love hormone, and it promotes bonding and reduces stress.
Yeah.
And it's also said, I think it was found in a study, don't quote me on that, that the people who cuddle or couples who touch a lot, they live much longer. You know, I mean, all of us want to live longer.
Yeah.
So touch more. It's simple, you know, just touch more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really what we have for you today. Just in conclusion, we can all agree that marriage needs intentional work.
Yeah.
And maybe let me not say work. It needs intentional effort. You know, because when you say work, obviously people start running away. So it needs that intentional effort. You can make your marriage the most beautiful marriage, the most fulfilling marriage, if you just choose to be intentional about all the things that we've spoken about today.
Yeah.
So be intentional. Choose today to be intentional about forgiveness. Choose today to be intentional about loving your spouse. Be intentional about staying in love, you know. Look at the list that we went through today. Look at where you may be excelling in other things, you know, but you may be also falling short in other things. So look at what you are falling short of and make it an effort, make it an intentional effort to become better as a person in those areas. And hopefully your spouse is listening with you and they are also making that decision to grow in those areas. And also there are areas that you may want to grow together as a unit. Speak about those as well, you know, and find a way to grow and become a better couple. So, with that being said, that's it from us. Please continue to like, to share, and to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Continue to pray for us. And remember, there is beauty in your marriage. Show up, be present, and keep loving. Bye-bye.
God bless.